Welcome to the 27th episode of the Backlot 605 podcast. I am Casey.
I'm Brian.
And it's just the two of us today.
It is just the two of us.
This is weird.
It is weird. And for musical reference numbers for myself, because that's what I was thinking of with 27, we will not become part of the 27 club.
No, this will not be our last episode. We will not die today.
And I'm not 27 anyway.
No. You're younger than that, right?
I'm just a young little pup.
Just a young whippersnapper. But today, we're going to kick it back old school, just the two of us, you and I. And we're going to be talking about our favorite pets in movies.
Sweet.
Why?
Why? Because John Wick is going to seek revenge for his dog again.
Again. And we can't wait.
Because why not?
And there's a Dennis Quaid dog movie again.
Oh.
Coming out the same weekend.
Yeah.
Which one of those are we going to go watch? Obviously, the Dennis Quaid one.
Fuck you.
No, not at all.
I'm John Wick all the way, man. All the way.
All the way. But let's jump into our box office for the week. No surprise once again, Brian, but we're going to be wrong next week when we get those numbers.
You think?
Yeah. This week, Avengers Endgame tops the box office once again, $63 million, bringing its total gross domestically to over $700 million.
Yes, it is.
Taking some steps towards that Avatar numbers, but
I've looked at those Avatars' numbers today, and granted, I don't know if that included Sunday numbers, but it's going to happen.
It'll happen here in the next month.
Oh, easily. It only has another $300 million to go.
Yep. So if it grossed 63 just domestically this weekend, that number will probably drop kind of dramatically next week once we get to John Wick.
Yep, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but coming in close here this weekend at number 2, Detective Pikachu, $58 million.
Enough where a small rodent damn near took out in an Avengers movie.
He ain't just no ordinary rodent, Brian.
He's a rat.
He's a frickin' Pikachu. But no, this is kind of surprising numbers for me.
This is surprising for you?
A little bit, because...
Why? All right, were you hoping for a Sonic the Hedgehog fail?
No, I have been a hater on this movie. I know that, but I'm rooting for it because I want more Pokemon movies. Like, Pokemon owns every other media franchise: television, video games, mobile phone apps, everything. So for this to be the first time they have a live-action movie, one, I always thought it was strange that they'd start with the spin-off.
What do you mean?
Detective Pikachu is basically a spin-off of the main Pokemon storyline. Oh. Yeah.
I don't know.
So it'd be like starting the Fast and Furious franchise with the Hobbs and Shaw movie, and then doing the Fast franchise. I don't know. It makes sense. But I'm glad it brought in more money because you know what? That means more Pokemon movies.
Yeah, well, it's got to break even first, and you figure it also has had one hell of a marketing.
It's going to make some big money overseas too.
At the same time, too, it also has the genius behind marketing just in its star alone.
Oh yeah, he's a marketing department in himself.
Exactly. And I mean, I've told you this here before, but I myself personally, when it comes to following Ryan Reynolds on Twitter, he's the only celebrity where I have the notifications on my phone to let me know when he sends something out, and it's worth it every goddamn time. In fact, I kind of hope this becomes a thing. But when he shared the full movie on Twitter just to end up Pika rolling instead of Rick rolling everybody, I want to see more people take that segment of Pikachu dancing and just slip it into everything and just be like, I've got this new thing. Oh, nope, it's Pikachu.
Jordan Peele's actually, quote-unquote, called him Ryan Reynolds out because the Pikachu doing the dance is straight up from a segment on Key and Peele.
Oh, is it?
So Jordan Peele called him out on it, jokingly, obviously, but I like that they're in on the joke. But yes, everyone needs to follow Ryan Reynolds' game plan for marketing his movies.
Oh my God.
Every actor or actress should follow that.
Well, and you know that when he did that too, that it was blatantly obvious, and then because he even took a not necessarily a stab at it, but he actually went in and everybody, the whole Deadpool leak kind of thing before they made the first Deadpool, he's 70% sure it wasn't him kind of thing, where in this video it blatantly has his name and initials on the video inlay.
Yep.
I love it.
All right, moving on. Number 3 this week, The Hustle, $13.5 million.
Only $45 million from second.
Yeah, that's it. So this Rebel Wilson, Anne Hathaway comedy, not my bag of tea, but I can see where it's perfect counter programming for Avengers and Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, a little bit. This is for all the different demographic. That's like, I don't like comic book movies.
I don't like Pokemon.
I'm an adult.
Yeah. Also part of that, I would say similar segment, The Intruder, sticking around the top 5, $6.6 million, bringing its domestic gross to $20 million on an $8 million budget. So we will get the sequel to The Intruder 2. Dennis Quaid's new franchise.
Dennis Quaid is in every franchise, yeah.
He needs to be the lead in every franchise.
Well, think about this here.
He has the dog franchise,
I was going to say,
I guess.
This is Dennis Quaid, and in 1 week, potentially, he's going to have,
2 movies in the top 5? No.
Not top 5, no, but top 10, yes.
Yeah.
And you got some people like Dennis Quaid, who?
And to those people, I say for shame.
For shame, go watch Inner Space.
Go watch any movie with Dennis Quaid. All right, rounding off our top 5, Long Shot, Seth Rogen, Charlize Theron comedy, $6 million. Total gross to $19 million. It's not doing too hot. I think they're struggling with that Avengers being in the theater right now.
Yeah, I think.
They hit... I think if they would have pushed it back to even this coming week, playing it up against John Wick, I think they would have done a little better than they are right now.
Maybe.
I think the weekend, there was the big release the weekend after Avengers Endgame, and I think it's just going to get buried now.
Well, you're probably not wrong, but at the same time, too, just because it's got Rogen and Charlize Theron doesn't necessarily mean that it was a big budget movie. So, it hasn't had a huge, a big marketing strategy, at least from my notice. So, for all we know, it's still going to maybe at least break even.
You would think, maybe, but you have a comedy superstar with Seth Rogen, and then you have someone who is playing completely against typecast in this, and Charlize Theron. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm rooting for the movie. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard great things, but
I'd watch anything with Charlize Theron in it.
In here, I'm like, I'll watch anything with Seth Rogen in it. All right, so let's move on to the news.
To the news.
Literally 1 day after we recorded last week, Spider-Man Far From Home dropped its first trailer, just as Logan predicted on our show. And what did you think of this spoiler-filled trailer?
I love the fact that they had Tom Holland in the beginning of it. If you haven't watched Endgame, the guy who is notorious for spoiling Mr. Spoilers himself is like, don't watch this yet. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was great. It, typically, would be the kind of thing where I'm like, I don't necessarily need to watch it because I'm going to go see Spider-Man anyway. But, after getting that little bit of intro, I'm like, okay, you've got me intrigued. Now that we know that there's direct correlation to Endgame in it, very much impressed. Yeah. Very much impressed.
For me, I'm in the same vein. If I watch the first trailer and I'm hooked, I don't want to watch anymore.
No, because I don't want anything, either to see that stuff in the trailer that's never in the movie, or just
something spoiled.
Too much is in the trailer.
But for me, like this is the trailer. Like I was waiting for this trailer because there's so many questions left after Endgame, and I think this movie helps answer a couple. It at least answers some of the underlying Iron Man Tony Stark questions, and also what has this, the snap and the multiverse opening done to this. So this movie blatantly opens up the multiverse, introduces Mysterio as someone from a different dimension. Mm-hmm. And as a hero?
Well, and that's where I've even seen some people online talking about here, like, are they just talking about the multiverse? Is it really real? Or is it Mysterio making shit up because he's actually the bad guy pretending to be the hero?
To that, I say yes and no. Because for me, my theory is going to be yes, Mysterio, he's blatantly lying because that's what he does.
Uh-huh.
But I also think he'll turn out to be the bad guy, and I don't think he'll actually be from an alternate dimension. But I do think the multiverse is something very apparent.
Oh, yeah. I think this is probably a good place for Marvel to go now that they are done with the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, it's a great place for them to introduce these new characters that they have purchased back from Fox, Fantastic Four, X-Men. Way to segment them back into the Marvel Universe, while also opening up these totally different storylines.
You know, and the funny thing is, you bring in terms of X-Men and the Fantastic Four, I don't foresee them being anywhere near the phase 1 or phase 4.
I think Fantastic Four will be towards the end of 4 into 5. I think they're going to hold off on X-Men for a while.
You know, the reason why I don't think so is because you know that when it comes to stuff like this, Feige has a plan. Feige always has a plan. Feige's had a plan for probably years that he hasn't been able to say anything about because of, you know, obviously Endgame and all that stuff, right? So we already know what's already in the works. We just don't know how exactly it all plans out from here. You know, outside of Black Widow supposed to be essentially a prequel-ish somewhere in the middle of everything that happened during, you know, the Infinity Saga.
Yep.
But outside of that, he's had to plan all this stuff out long before the merger even became a thing. So that's why I'm thinking they will not show up at least to a minimum of a phase 5.
That's where I think they're going to show up sooner than later. I think he'll change up that plan to fit what's going to work. And I think Fantastic Four can kind of seamlessly slip in there. X-Men's a little harder to do because there's so many different characters. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's already changed it up once. They got rid of that Inhumans movie and turned it into a shitty TV show. So he's not one to, you know, not change his mind.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, this Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, there's a lot of great things in it. I like that they introduced that, you know, Peter Parker, he's almost going to become the new Iron Man / agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. almost. Mm-hmm. And then you get that awesome line from Nick Fury.
That is the best line in the MCU ever, period.
It's a great way to kick off this next segment of this Marvel Cinematic Universe with,
yes.
Bitch, you've been to space.
No, I don't think I can do this. Bitch, you've been to space.
Great line.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of all people to have it come from, but Sam Jackson himself. Like, if this would have come from anybody else, maybe it would have the same effect. Being that it is Sam Jackson and Nick Fury, that's why it's golden.
What did you think of this new Mary Jane, pretty much just straight up knowing that Peter's Spider-Man?
I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that yet. I believe that is possibly still deception. Because why would they throw that in the trailer? Outside of literally making you think that that's the case, when it's the typical her version of MJ that is very cynical, and, you know, to basically put him on the spot, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you," because that's totally what her character was like from Homecoming. So I'm leaning towards them basically just using that as a ploy for her to be still not being aware. Yeah. Yes, for the joke factor.
I could see it both ways because one, it would make her character an actually smart character if she knew, because like, why would Spider-Man be in Europe coincidentally at the same time that they are?
I mean, I suppose
helping out the students that already helped out on one field trip. Put 2 and 2 together.
You know,
who's missing? Oh, Peter's gone. He must be Spider-Man.
She has the same deduction skills as the chick from Shazam.
Yeah. All right, so that was the Far From Home trailer. Let's jump to some other Marvel news. Richard Madden is in talks for Marvel The Eternals. And to that I say, who?
A Stark.
Who?
He's a Stark.
Tony?
He's not that kind of Stark. He's a Game of Thrones kind of Stark.
Yeah. So for all those people yelling at me because I don't watch Game of Thrones, I don't know who this guy is. So, I don't know. Good casting? Sure. He's from Game of Thrones. Well, everybody from Game of Thrones has to be fan cast in something.
Well, and this is and I've said this before, and I will say it to, you know, so far, whether people have enjoyed certain characters or not, Like for because sometimes people will say that for the MCU there were some weak villains and whatnot, but the castings were always great. Like, I enjoyed Kate Blanchett in, as much as they give hella crap about her character. Probably for me, the weakest one was probably Mickey Rourke. But outside of that, there's always been very good casting, whether it be hero or villain and whatnot. So the fact that the MCU has cast this guy, I like, for instance, like the dude from Train to Busan. I haven't seen it, but I've heard nothing but good things about him and that movie. So this is one of those things again where it's like I'm not as familiar with this man because I am like you and would get the hate mail that says you've never watched Game of Thrones. What the fuck?
Yeah, Backlat 605 hates Game of Thrones.
We don't hate Game of Thrones. We just never got around to watching it. No. I watched 1.5 episodes.
There you go. That's more than me.
That's more than you. But this is also the same thing too, where currently at this time they have given me no reason to doubt casting when it comes to the MCU.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't have any other final thoughts. I just wanted to throw it out.
You just want to throw it out there and just be like, who?
Who? Speaking of someone that I do know, though.
I'm so glad I showed you this.
I like this one. Michael Rooker is in talks to join the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's written and directed film, as King Shark.
So
fuck yes.
Oh yeah, I'm totally. Anytime that I can get Rooker and Gunn in the same room and they produce these wonderful pieces of art. But here's the thing, though, because I saw a thing about Rooker talking about all the different movies and everything like that he has been in with Gunn, right? This means that by definition, King Shark will have to die.
Yeah.
Because there's only one movie that him and Gunn have worked with each other where he did not die, and that was Guardians 1.
And then he died in the sequel.
Which he was upset about, but he understood why, and he was not upset anymore.
Maybe they'll do this with him. He'll be in the third Suicide Squad movie, and then he'll die.
I know. Somebody was even asking about, like, if Sean Gunn was going to be in Suicide Squad too. He's like, if he wants to be there, I'll be there. But he's got his thing. I've got my thing. Yeah.
He's sitting all right, hanging out with the rest of the Avengers.
Right, exactly.
I don't know. I like this casting. King Shark's an awesome character, Flash villain, and I love Michael Rooker in literally everything he's ever been in.
Oh, I know, right?
He's the best part of
Mallrats.
Mallrats. He's the best part of The Walking Dead. I would say he's one of, if not the best part of Guardians 2.
No, Yondu is amazing.
Everything he is in, he turns to gold.
Did you ever get around to watching the Belko Experiment?
Yes. He's great in that, too.
He's great in that, too.
Everything. I can't think of anything that he's bad in, so I'm 100% for this casting.
Slither.
If we can get some of those, like, Slither, just practical effects for one, and then that humor, I think that we're going to get a strange and awesome Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Sticking in that DC family, one of their writers that there's most known for writing Batman Begins and Man of Steel, David S. Goyer, he is going to pen a new script for Hellraiser.
You know what my response is?
What? That's an accurate response to this, Brian. I will 100% agree with that.
Pinhead is as weird and BDSM as that character is.
Not at all.
Is that, there's some of these old horror franchises that just need to go away. Like, tick tock tick, I hear you typing, type. There's just these. Why? I mean, why necessary? Why make another Hellraiser other than just to keep the rights? I will give you credit the fact that we got Goyer on this, and Goyer is a good writer.
For the most part.
So
basically, a little history on the Hellraiser movies is that I think it's the fourth one is the last one that was ever in the theater. Maybe it was the third one. I'm not sure. But there's half a dozen other ones that just went straight to DVD, and no one's ever watched or heard of. And basically what they were doing is every 2 or 3 years making another movie so they could keep the rights, because one day they're like, oh, we're going to make an actual big budget reboot. It's going to happen. Well, I guess this is it right here. Like, it's going to happen now. And if it took all those shitty sequels for us to finally get another good Hellraiser movie, I'm all for it. You need to find... I think David S. Goyer is only as good as the director that directs his scripts.
True.
Because if you look at something like Batman Begins and, well, the Dark Knight trilogy in general, that was a lot of Nolan in there.
Oh,
yeah. You had his script, the storyline, but then you had a lot of Nolan. You look at something like Blade 2, you had Goyer's script, but you also had Guillermo del Toro.
Mm-hmm.
So it relies a lot on the directors that they have for him. And one director that I would like to throw out there for this one, and he did the Nicolas Cage movie last year, Mandy, and I think he would be perfect for this movie. And I'm going to butcher his name, though. Panos Cosmatos.
Gesundheit?
Yes, exactly. I think he would be perfect for the Hellraiser movie. Give the guy that knows horror and dark and macabre and fucked up to Hellraiser. Give this guy that movie. So that's my choice for directing.
Well, I guess we'll just have to kind of see, and who knows, maybe that just because this is happening, quote unquote, doesn't necessarily mean it's actually happening. It can always get stuck in development hell, too.
I know, they're all following this Halloween model lately, especially with, Leprechaun did it, to no one watching. Child's Play was working on it in multiple ways.
Yeah, still on the
fence.
I don't know if I'm even on the fence. I think I'm looking from the other side of the fence going, what the fuck are you doing? But I will curse that until they prove me wrong.
And, I don't know. I'm excited to see where they can go with this, and I hope they just actually make something good and not some cheap-ass, low-budget, straight-to-DVD movie for once.
Well,
we'll wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, it'll probably still be,
Jumping to a much better horror movie that we're finally getting a sequel to. That movie is Deathgasm. Brian, have you ever heard of this movie?
I've heard of it. Have I seen it? No. Did I want to see it? No. Did it look of interest? No. Is the only person in this room that's excited for this is you? Yes.
There's only 2 people in this room, so yes. Hell yes, I am. This is one of the best heavy metal horror movies ever.
Horror comedy?
Yes, and it works perfectly. Oh, there's so much about this movie that just works 100% for it. And yes, the horror comedy, there's just one shot I can think of if you have seen the movie or if you haven't, is basically this guy's in this heavy metal band and he's all gothic looking, like Brandon Lee from The Crow, and he's sitting in a park eating an ice cream cone with this blonde hair, blue-eyed girl. I'm like, it's funny. It's a great movie, and I'm glad that we're finally getting a sequel to it. So if you haven't watched Deathgasm, get on it right now. I think it's on Shudder, might be on Netflix right now too. So definitely check it out before we get this sequel. I just wanted to throw that out there.
You're doing a lot of clicking.
I know. I got a lot of research to do, Brian, while we're doing this, okay?
Maybe you should need to get a quieter mouse.
You gotta keep clicking. We're going to jump to another film that may be getting a sequel or of sorts.
A continuation?
Of something. The Wachowskis are planning a new Matrix film.
I'd be okay with this.
No.
Why?
Because
you're okay with a Hellraiser after all these years of garbage, and yet you don't want something that actually has some actual universe built around it already.
Yeah, but those other ones aren't good. Well, neither are the Hellraiser sequels, but
yeah, exactly.
If you bring back Keanu, I'll be in. If not, count me out.
I could see them bringing back Keanu.
That's my only caveat for this Matrix 4 or whatever the hell they want to do with it.
I could see them bringing back everybody. Carrie-Anne Moss, Lawrence Fishburne. Hell, granted, I might have to go back and rewatch the movies, but I'm like, even if you have to, bring back Joe Pantoliano.
What I'm questioning is it too late? Is the Matrix time period that it came out just come and gone?
Well, let's say...
For that fandom. Think about the style of that movie. 1, of the way they shot it, and then 2, of the way the characters actually dress and look.
And 3, let's ask James Cameron when he gets done with Avatar 2.
Well, exactly. I think that's one of the things that brings it up for me is Avatar 2, I think it's going to be a little too late, but this is even longer for a Matrix movie.
Not by much.
When did the last Matrix... I'll look it up here, but...
Like 03, 04-ish? About 15 years?
Matrix Reloaded, is that the third one?
Revolution.
Alright. Matrix Revolution. 2003?
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, so 16 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not horrible.
No.
I mean, come on. If you're going to bring back Keanu Reeves and, be concerned about, 16 years-ish right now, so maybe we get on the verge of 20 years when it comes out. Look how many years we have for Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Look how many years that we've had before the Wachowskis have made a good movie.
Actually, their series on Netflix since 8 actually
Yeah, I've heard good things.
I've heard good things about that. I've only watched a couple episodes of that.
Yeah, I think this is a little too late.
You think so?
I think it's a little too late. If you want to go straight up reboot,
no, they won't do a reboot.
If you did, I wouldn't want the Wachowskis involved. I'd want a new creative force behind it.
No.
So if it's a straight up sequel, Keanu in it. Otherwise, I'm out.
I'm going to spin this here even maybe a different way because I'm still in on this possibility. But you're talking about is it too long, too late, the look, all that stuff, whatever, right? Well, by the end of it here, they've basically beaten the machines. They can change the look easily without a problem. Now that it's been how many years later, and look what they did with technology then, especially in '99. Think of what they could do now.
That's why I'm saying if you do all that and all the, because the biggest thing was the what's that called, the gun, the slow motion thing.
Oh yeah,
that they did. Yeah, what was that called again? I can't think of it.
Well, I think
real time slow mo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they do come up with something new and interesting like that, I think that would help. But for me, Keanu has to be involved.
Oh, definitely.
That's just my one caveat for this movie.
And I don't think that they wouldn't have him involved in some way, shape, or form. Can you imagine Neo looking all John Wick?
Well, exactly. I think that would be a really cool way to go with it. Big beard Neo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jumping to another franchise, one of Brian's favorites, actually.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a nerd for these guys.
Yes, we've talked about it multiple times on this show, but there has been talks of a possible Cypher spin-off for the Fast and Furious franchise.
And what is your thoughts?
I thought she was super boring and very uninteresting, so I...
But who's to say this wouldn't give the opportunity for her to get that more development and to get that, better of a backstory?
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it. They haven't hooked me with her at all. At least with The Rock and Jason Statham. I liked those characters.
You like
I wanted to see more from them. That's why I'm glad they're doing Hobbs and Shaw. I could care less about Charlize Theron in these movies.
I guess we'll see. I mean...
Give us a Kurt Russell spinoff instead.
Oh, God. With Mr. Nobody?
Yes.
Can we bring back Scott Eastwood as Little Nobody?
No.
Why not?
Again, boring.
Boring?
Boring.
Yeah, well, maybe.
There's no other talks just besides that they're in the works on this movie.
It's Universal, and Universal is going to try to milk this franchise as much as they can until the 9th and 10th movies are completed.
And then they'll still keep trying to milk this
franchise.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. I mean, think of it this way. This is the best universe Universal has right now.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Because every time they try to...
Their monsters aren't doing anything.
No. Every time they try to boot their dark universe, they kind of go,
in the tank.
In the tank a little bit. So...
the only spin-off I'm waiting for the Fast and Furious franchise, I just want a straight-up animated series. You know how in the 80s, every movie series had an animated television series to go along with?
Yeah, it's going to go to Netflix.
Is it actually?
Yeah, they've been talking about it.
Then make it fucking happen, because that's all I want is a Fast and Furious animated series. Just like the Ghostbusters got one. I want the Fast and Furious franchise to have one as well.
July 26th of 2019.
Yes! I have predicted the future.
Or you forgot that we already
missed that news.
Or you completely forgot that we've already talked about this. How much beer have you had today?
Too much. So I'm more excited for the animated series than I am the Cypher spinoff. A movie I am excited for, though, is that we got a new trailer for. It Chapter 2. And this trailer, I watched it on my iPad on break at work, and I verbally said, "Oh God," like 3 different times to myself.
The old lady?
The old lady.
I do have to say one of my favorite YouTube comments that I saw was in regards to the old lady. And it said something to the effect of, Oldlady.exe stopped working. Please reboot.
I saw a great GIF after. It's when she's sitting on the couch and the old lady like creeps behind her. Mm-hmm. It's like when you forget to bring a towel to the bathroom. But all jokes aside, what did you think of this trailer?
That old lady was creepy as hell.
Very creepy.
I'm intrigued. I've had a lot of people where I've seen where they weren't as enthralled with the first one, and they're hoping this one will do better than the first one did. But I enjoyed the first one. I look at them completely separate from the Tim Curry to the Bill Skarsgård.
It's much better than the Tim Curry one.
It depends, honestly, who you ask.
If you ask whoever says the Tim Curry TV movie's better, they're wrong. Because that movie is good for the first hour with the kids, and then everything else is terrible.
Oh, come on.
Except Tim Curry. Except Tim Curry. I will say
you leave Harry Anderson out of this.
It's bad. It's bad.
But no, when it popped up on my Twitter feed that there was a trailer and whatnot, I got super excited, clicked on it, and realized it was just the thing that says, save this link for when we go live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm like, you sons of bitches. But I purposely left that link up at work waiting for 11 o'clock to show up. And I even had one of my coworkers walking by. It was like, 10:59. I'm like, you better get back to your desk. You got 60 seconds. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I was in anyway because I was a fan of the first one. I love this casting. And I like the fact that they didn't just completely go all out, like 100% star-studded.
For all
cast,
all the kids, yeah.
All the kids. There are some guys in the adults that I have no effing clue who they are. But I mean, you got three big names just out of McAvoy, Jessica Chastain and Bill Hader. And hey, frankly, I'm excited to see Isaiah Mustafa.
They better just give his character a little more to do. Because the younger version does nothing in that movie.
Right.
So, I love this trailer. As I said, I don't get scared very often watching trailers or movies, but this trailer creeped me out.
Really?
That old lady creeped me out, yeah.
I mean, I was creeped out by it, but I'm not like over here going,
Yeah, that was me.
That was
my
you?
face, yeah.
You're the horror guy.
I am. And
horror. I got to be very enunciate my
horror
words.
guy.
Horror guy.
No, it got me, and I'm sold now.
Yeah.
I was sold before, but now I'm more into this movie because looking at that, well, you have to... For me, I do compare the two because it's an adaptation of the Stephen King book. It's the same story. But looking at that original Tim Curry movie, that adult storyline is just the most boring thing you could ever watch. So that's why I'm excited to see where they can go with these adults. I want them to tell just as scary story as when they were kids. I want them all to be terrified as adults because, frankly, like, clowns shouldn't scare you as an adult. But
I have a friend of mine that would disagree with you on that.
I disagree with that. Clowns are fucking scary.
Are you scared of clowns too?
I hate clowns.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah.
Some people's kids.
Yeah, I hate clowns. So,
Doug, if you're listening to this, you need to knock it off too.
What? Being scared of clowns?
Yes.
No, clowns are scary, Brian.
Clowns are not.
No one should always be that happy. No one should. Unless you're listening to this show, please be happy. But, yeah, I don't know. I love the trailer. I'm excited for the movie. I think it's great casting all around. And shit, I want to just see more Bill Hader as Richie.
Oh my god. Just in general, this movie's going to be...
It's going to make some big money, too.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, it's definitely going to ride. I mean, I think they did a good job in making sure that they didn't wait too long. Well, for one... you need to be able to do it soon enough so your kids don't get too old.
Yep.
Because, heck, I mean, they've even had to kind of play that game with the whole, like, Stranger Things and push it out to be able to accommodate for their age change. But no, I mean, I'm glad they're not like, well, we're going to do this in, like, 3 or 4 years. No, you do that shit right away.
That's why I'm honestly surprised they didn't shoot it back to back.
I think because, and I know that I'm pretty sure we've talked about this, but with all of the delays and everything, and all the issues they had before, I think they're playing cautious.
Yeah. Playing the cards close to the chest.
But at the same time, too, I think that they were playing close to the chest, but I do think that there was stuff that was still being in the works just in case. Because I know that 2 of the child fan favorite castings happened for a fact, so you can't tell me that wasn't by sheer coincidence.
All right, so we're excited for it. Are you guys excited for It Chapter 2? Did you hate the first one? Blake, we're calling you out on that one. But I hope you all go and check this new one out. So
yes,
let's jump to another less scary trailer.
I didn't get a chance to watch this trailer.
You didn't watch it? No.
I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to. I'm intrigued by this.
And that trailer is for the movie called Judy.
Judy.
And it is the Renee Zellweger starring film about actress Judy Garland.
And I realized that, only just from the still that I saw, but I swear to God, she looked more like Liza Minnelli than she did look like Judy Garland.
A little bit, yeah.
And I was like, okay, is this done on purpose? Or maybe I just don't remember what Judy Garland looked like as an adult, because everybody just sees her.
Wizard of Oz.
Pictures Dorothy, exactly, and doesn't realize that she had an entire career after that.
No, so this whole trailer kind of chronicles her entire career in Hollywood. And yes, she is most known for, obviously, Wizard of Oz, and they do touch on that. The entire trailer is played out through the song Over the Rainbow.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So I'm excited for it. I didn't know this movie was coming out until the trailer popped up on my feed. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they've been talking about it for a while. Even I knew that.
Yeah, so I'm glad I saw this trailer, because now I'm really interested to watch this movie.
Well, and it's probably because most people don't realize that you're a closet Wizard of Oz.
I ain't no closeted Wizard of Oz fan. I love Wizard of Oz. It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. That's one reason, and I love these. It's almost going to be a love letter to early Hollywood.
You hope so, anyway.
I hope so.
You hope it's that and not a complete, you get it and you realize it's almost like the reverse, and it's the dark and dirty and slap in the face a little bit kind of thing.
Actually, I kind of want a little bit of the dark and dirty, because La La Land was too bright and colorful. Calling out La La Land.
Isn't that kind of the point?
What?
Bright and colorful?
Yeah, but it was a lot of Hollywood stroking their own ego. That's what they were stroking, not their...
Well, that's nothing new.
No, it's not. That's why I like movies when they take a little bit of risk and do a little jab at the Hollywood system. But I'm excited for this movie, so definitely check out the trailer if you haven't.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, let's jump to our final piece of news. This is a lot of news today. We should be just news broadcasters after this.
Welcome to the news broadcast of tomorrow.
But we're talking about it today because we're talking about the Disney/Fox, I guess now, movie release dates.
Oh, you mean the fact that Disney is going to own our souls for the next decade at the box office during Christmas?
Yeah, they're going to own our souls forever and ever.
Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that. Welcome to the Mouse House.
Sure. Mickey Mouse is just going to be swallowing souls now forever.
Yeah, he's going to look like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
So basically, Disney announced their entire release schedule, and from what it looks like, from what we see here, it's going to be basically, I'm trying to see where it starts. It looks like in 2021. It's going to be Avatar 2 is in 2021.
Yeah, that got moved, because that was supposed to be 2020.
Yep, so that got moved a year, but that means from every year after that, from 2021 until 2027, every other year we'll have an Avatar movie, then a Star Wars movie, an Avatar movie, then a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Every single December.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney owns the Christmas season.
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah.
They're going to own Santa Claus now.
They're just going to basically own every holiday at the theater.
God. I'm going to be there for all this, at least all the Star Wars movies. I'll be there. But I'm
because granted, it says untitled, but I was like, what about July 4th? To 2021, untitled Indiana Jones on July 9th.
I'm kind of just briefly looking through this list, and yeah, that one popped out to me because we haven't heard much about this Indiana Jones movie.
No, I guess I didn't even realize it was going to happen.
There has been talks about a number of possibilities. I know the fifth Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford has been in the talks. There's been a straight-up reboot in the talks. There's been a talk of old Indy, like in the beginning, and then telling a story about his younger self, and then him coming back at the end type of movie.
My problem with that, personally, myself, is, it's one of those things that, you can't do what you can't do anymore because of things and whatnot. But I would hate to see a young Indiana Jones because all I want to picture is River Phoenix.
We're not going to go young, like 12-year-old young. I think they're going more 20, 30-year-old Indy.
But look, New Mutants is still on the docket.
It is still on the docket.
It's still on the docket. For this time next year.
In 2020, so that's almost 2 years after it was originally supposed to come out.
So Maisie Williams will still look like she's 12?
I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be because it's a young cast.
Yeah.
They all look a little older already.
Yeah.
Besides probably Maisie Williams, but I think the rest of them are starting to look a little older, so this, for me, I don't think this movie's going to come out then either.
But you know what? I still think it's going to happen, and if it does actually pull off to the point where they do make a sequel out of it, then they've actually bought enough time to be able to forward progress the cast.
The thing I find interesting now is on this docket right here for this Disney Fox list is that you do have the Fox Marvel movie still on this list. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, this is kind of the first time, like, we probably won't get the Disney logo in front of any of them.
No.
But
no,
are they going to try to tie any of these new ones into the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
No, well, possibly. But I mean, in terms of the logo, I still think because they're keeping the brand, everything like that for Fox, and then just underneath the bottom of it where it says 20th Century Fox, it's just going to say a Disney company.
Yeah.
And they might not even do that because they haven't changed the Lucas logo. So, for all intents and purposes, they might just leave it as is, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Another thing I'm looking at on this list that I didn't know was coming out, a Bob's Burgers movie?
You know what? People are weird.
So you're not a fan of Bob's Burgers then, Brian, I take it?
I've seen like 2 pieces of episodes. I'm not impressed.
Kayla will kill me, but no, neither am I. Archer's the much better show.
Archer.
But
in other news, Archer gets a movie.
That would be great.
Of course you would love that.
I would love that. But I don't know. Bob's Burgers movies, are we going to finally get a Family Guy movie? American Dad movie?
I don't know. You got to talk to Seth about that.
I know.
A million Ways to Die in the West didn't exactly do as hot as he'd hoped for. And I love that movie, as corny as it is.
It's a terrible movie.
Well, I didn't say it was great. I said I loved it. That's the difference.
You're wrong. It's a terrible movie.
Shut up.
Okay, there's some good jokes in it.
Shut up.
It's not a good movie, though. Yeah, that was kind of there. You can check out this entire list. Just look it up online. But yeah, there's so many movies that Disney will own our souls because of. So are you guys excited for this listening out there? Are you excited for Mickey Mouse to be sucking on your soul? That sounds dirty, but it's going to happen.
Well, because by then, it's also going to get my $7 a month, too.
And yeah, and none of this will be any of the Disney Plus stuff from what it looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But, in the respect to all this here, too, talking about moving Avatar and whatnot, they did move some of their own properties around as well as part of this. Mm-hmm. Because all of a sudden I saw Artemis Fowl, because Artemis Fowl I know got moved from 19 to 20.
Yep.
So, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. And the fact that the Kingsman stuff is still on there is even better.
So we're going to get a Disney Kingsman movie. Yes! That's what we all want.
Mickey Mouse shows up. He gets shot in the middle of the head.
Mickey Mouse does a fight scene to Freebird. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Kills all the other cartoons.
Yes. In a church.
Yep. All right, so that was kind of our big news, our 10 news topics for today. That's a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah, I'm running out of Powerade.
He's running out of Powerade. What is, if you're out there listening, what news piece are you most excited to hear about? Is it the Matrix sequels?
Let us know.
Let us know. But we're going to jump to
Let us know what we've missed out of all of this shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of news, so if we missed anything, please let us know. Let's jump to the main topic today, Brian.
Now with all the news, everybody's going to be like...
Yeah, they're like, all right, click off.
Click off.
We're going to talk about our favorite pets in movies.
Yep.
In honor of John Wick and A Dog's Journey.
And you know what? It's funny, is we were looking for famous pets to put on this list, and pretty much the entire internet said, hey, you need to go look at dogs.
Look at these puppers.
And how is it that when we were looking that up, John Wick wasn't even on there?
Because I don't...
He's a famous pet.
John Wick?
Well, no, the dog.
What's his dog's name?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. His dog didn't have a name.
Probably not.
No, he didn't have it. He never named it.
No, he didn't. That's right.
He never named it.
He got a dog in the sequel, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonder if he named him.
No, I don't think he named him either.
Come on, John Wick, name your dog.
Because the dude asks him what his name is when he drops him off at the Continental.
Yep.
He doesn't have a name.
Doesn't have a name.
He never names them.
John, name your dogs.
Name your dogs.
So we can put them on the list. But we're going to talk about some of our favorite pets in movies. This will kind of be a combination between me and Brian. Because you know what? There's only so many dogs you can talk about. That's a lot. You can always talk about dogs for days.
Because dogs are awesome. They're better than cats.
It's true.
Cats are evil. They're divas.
We don't have any cats on our list, so please do not write your hate mail to us, you cat lovers out there. But let's jump to our number 5, and we came to an honorable tie for number 5 with Flipper and Free Willy. So we got to have our...
You had to have Free Willy on there.
Yeah, we had to have our aquatic animals in there, so... I don't know. Yeah, for me, Free Willy was the one I had to throw in there. And... I don't know. You can count it as a pet because yes, this kid is saving Free Willy from quote unquote. I don't think it's actual SeaWorld in this movie, is it?
No,
it's a different name. Yeah,
no,
but basically SeaWorld. And the one thing I haven't watched this movie in a really long time, but the thing that I just go back and just watch clips of is the fantastic escape scene of Free Willy jumping over the kid and out into the ocean. That's such a great scene. And for that alone, that's deserving of the top 5 list.
That's deserving for you as I sit here and I kind of snooze. Or I don't know. Maybe Free Willy just came out at the wrong time in my life to the point where I was like, I really am... yeah. You know, where... You know, Flipper. Granted, you know, if you want to really throw in the fact that we got, you know, Crocodile Dundee in the Flipper movie.
I don't remember watching this movie. I think I have, But yeah, Paul Hogan, Elijah Wood. I would have to go back and watch this. I remember that VHS cover though. Now that we are talking about it. Yeah. So why do you love Flipper more than Free Willy? Who would win in a fight?
Well, obviously the one that's called a killer whale.
Hell yes, he would.
But neither of them would fight because they're not you know, those kind of animals.
Oh.
Jeez, man.
Jeez. All right, so that was Brian's.
Yeah, I would take Flipper over Free Willy.
All right, let us know who's better, Flipper or Free Willy. All right, number 4 for us.
Number 4,
our favorite killer dog, Cujo.
Because how can you not like Cujo?
How can a top 5 list involving pets not have Cujo on it?
Because
we didn't say good pets. Granted, he has rabies. Okay, there's nothing like it. It's a serious thing. Make sure if your dog has rabies, please take care of it.
Yes, take care of your dog.
But Cujo, it's a great little horror movie. I think it still holds up today.
I think the only thing about Cujo I don't think that does hold up is just mainly because of the time it was made. Like essentially like your costume and your stuff like that. Outside of that, I think it holds up just fine. It's because that movie is old as it is, that's when we start realizing how dated it is.
Yeah, 1983. I love the scene. Just obviously you had the killer dog, but then you got. I think Dee Wallace has a really good performance in this movie. With her and the kid in the car, you feel that.
Oh, there's so much tension, so much terror in that scene.
Yeah, and some of the stuff I think that probably doesn't work might be some of the family drama before that, but I think everything. Once you get to that point where they're in the car and against Cujo, and it's just that, it's great.
Would you like to see this remade and bring it current?
If you're going to do all these Stephen King movies and remake them, this might be at my top.
Really?
Yes.
What would be your top?
Of Stephen King movies to remake? I think Cujo would probably be at the top. I mean, they've done the other ones I can think of, like It, they've done. Pet Sematary, they're touching on the Stephen King new renaissance, so... Renaissance. So I think Cujo would be up there for me. Yeah, as my...
We brought up Firestarter the other day at work.
That's the one I haven't watched.
You've never seen Firestarter?
I've never seen Firestarter.
My only issue with that is because Drew Barrymore is so iconic as that character and that kid and everything like that from way back then. That would be really hard for me. Like, you'd have to find, like, the perfect child star to be able to pull that off, I really think.
I don't know. I felt the same way with Pet Sematary. It's hard to top the kid in the original.
Yeah, and what happened?
They didn't top it, no.
Exactly.
Let's throw out Maximum Overdrive. Needs to be remade. And directed by Stephen King, once again.
You want him to redo his movie?
Yes. with the exact same cast. Just update it. Emilio Estevez. Or let Emilio Estevez direct.
I was gonna say time. I would rather, because
that'd be a nice full circle for him.
Well, not only would that be a full circle for him, but at the same time too, like he's like, if you've watched anything that he has directed, he's a very character driven individual, and I think that if you literally would bring that full circle, think of the character he could bring to these inanimate objects, to the semis, to, the freaking, soda machine that takes out the coach.
So you'd give the machines characters in this one?
In a way.
Okay.
In a way, like, you could, and, I mean, there's been other movies off top of it, I don't know, whatever.
Transformers.
But no, not like that. Kind of, not like they're gonna fucking transform and, like, turn into, no. But, like, just the way things happen and the way, just the, like, for instance, you got the car going down the road where, typically there's going to be a guy behind the driver's wheel, that's, oh, they're going to run over the kid. Like, you'd be able to take the driver out of that car and still make it intense, and to the point where, you just know the evilness, it's like if you were going to be remaking Christine kind of thing.
Which is not a good movie. John Carpenter directed movie. A lot of people forget that. But I think Emilio Estevez directing a remake of Maximum Overdrive.
We need to get him on the horn.
That would be pretty great.
All right. Now that you're done with the public, can you talk to Steven about doing Maximum Overdrive?
Adapting one of his books. Oh, yeah, which one? It's not actually based on his book. It's actually just the movie Maximum Overdrive.
As bad as that movie
We've talked about it.
I love that movie.
It's a great cheesy movie.
Yes. Okay.
All right, number 4, Cujo.
Cujo. What is number 3?
We're going to jump to another dog.
Because this thing's going to be full of dogs.
We have a couple dogs in this list.
We Googled the internet for famous pets, and pretty much the internet said, you need to make a list for dogs.
It has to be dogs. Mm-hmm. And, of course, everybody's favorite lovable...
Lassie?
No, not Lassie. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo!
Yes, so don't yell at us for putting Scooby-Doo at number 3.
Why not?
Because I could argue that he's probably number 1 if you jump in the TV category. He's the number 1 TV pet. But as far as movies go, he has a lot of straight-to-DVD animated movies. You also have those cheesy, fun Matthew Lillard, Freddie Prinze Jr. movies. I enjoy those.
I enjoyed them, actually.
They're all right for what they are.
Especially when they introduced Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah, as the villain.
Come
on, that's great. I don't know. I really enjoy both of those movies. And Scooby-Doo, he's the perfect sidekick for Shaggy.
Oh, definitely. You know that Shaggy and Scooby are the two of the highest...
they are stoners.
Animated characters ever.
Yeah, so Scooby-Doo is our number 3. I want to throw out a quick shout-out to Scooby-Doo on Monster Island. The best Scooby-Doo movie ever. Ever.
I don't know.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
All right, I'll let you watch it sometime. It's a great movie.
I'll put that on my list of probably never get around to watching.
Oh, you have to watch it. It's a great Scooby-Doo movie. It's the only Scooby-Doo movie that I can think of that actually has real monsters in it.
Does it have Matthew Lillard as Shaggy?
No.
Doesn't count.
This was before Matthew Lillard.
Okay, so is it Casey Kasem? It better be Casey Kasem. He's been doing it from like the 70s.
Scooby-Doo on Monster Island. So if you guys have seen it, please agree with me that it is the best Scooby-Doo movie that has ever been made.
Casey Kasem.
Let's see. Nope. Billy West voiced Shaggy.
Who the fuck is Billy West?
I don't know. Billy West, He voiced Bugs Bunny in Space Jam.
Anyway.
Space Jam's great.
Space Jam.
Yeah, so Scooby-Doo are number 3.
Scooby-Doo.
We're going to jump to another dog at number 2.
See, I told you, more dogs.
Toto. Bringing up Wizard of Oz again.
Hey, look. We're going to Africa. Oh, wait, wrong Toto.
Oh, no, not that Toto. Yeah, so Toto, he is... I don't know, I love Toto in that movie because he's a feisty little fuck.
Have you ever met a Scottish Terrier?
I have not. Are they just like that?
Yes.
Awesome. So that's a perfect dog to put in that movie.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he holds his own up against the Wicked Witch and everybody else in that movie.
Well, when you're short and tiny and you have to have a big attitude.
And you gotta pick on the Wicked Witch of the West.
Well,
I think he does it better than anyone.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Brian, you got any other thoughts on Toto? Not the band, the dog.
We're going to Africa. No. I mean, you hit it very well. I mean, from beginning to end, as much as you want to see, Dorothy get home, you realize he's, just unfortunately in tow, be like, hey, don't forget to bring me too.
And the more I think about this list, I had to have Toto on it because I love Wizard of Oz. But the more I thought of it, I'm like, he's just as much of a character as the other people on that journey.
Mm-hmm.
He's the reason this thing is kicked off, and he helps finish it off at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get better than that. He freaking reveals the wizard to be a fraud, the hack fraud that he is.
Well, because he's a smart dog.
Dog.
He's like, hey, dumbass, over here. You need to be looking behind the curtain over here.
He better have gotten lots of treats when they got back to Kansas. That's all I got to say.
Oh, he was a fat dog when he got done.
Yes, he better have been. All right, so our number one pet.
Filet mignon.
Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Yes, the Gremlins' favorite, Gizmo. And he is a pet, 100%. May not be a real, actual animal, but he's our favorite pet.
Well, you can't say it because, Scooby-Doo's technically not a real animal either.
He's a dog.
Well, yeah, he's an animated dog.
Yeah, he's a Great Dane, though.
In every form.
Yeah.
So, I'll take Gizmo for one. I want Gremlins 2 Gizmo over Gremlins 1 Gizmo.
You want Rambo Gizmo?
I want fucking Rambo Gizmo.
I'll take either Gizmo because I love both for different reasons. But yes, Rambo Gizmo is my favorite Gizmo.
Yes. That's one thing I appreciate about Gremlins 2 is Gremlins really went on the side of the horror comedy. And they cranked that shit to 11.
Yeah.
Especially when the whole genetics thing started blowing up and whatnot. Like watching the bat gremlin go through the window and left the bat symbol.
Yep.
Yes.
There's so many great things in that movie. I need to go back and watch that again. We should do a whole episode on Gremlins. Yeah. The Hulk Hogan cameo is great. There's so much good stuff in Gremlins too.
There's always good stuff.
Yeah, so that's our number one.
All sorts of different kinds of gremlins.
All our number one pet, Gizmo.
I'm okay with this.
You're okay with that one?
I'm okay with this.
Are you guys out there listening agreeing with us? Is Gizmo the number one pet of all time in movies?
They're probably looking at us going, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah, why the fuck are you talking about pets? Get back to Avengers! We needed a break from Avengers, and we want to talk about pets and dogs.
We only talked about other, comic book stuff,
For fucking ever, so. Yeah, that's our top 5. Brian, you got any other honorable mentions you want to throw out?
Babe the Pig.
Babe the Pig.
Because why not? Everybody likes bacon.
Everybody likes bacon. Is that what happened at the end?
Well, you just see they never made a Babe 3.
All of a sudden, he just hear a sizzle on the grill.
Well, like I said, we never got Babe 3.
No. Some of my honorable mentions. Beethoven.
Heck yeah.
Yep. And then Church, the cat from Pet Sematary.
Hooch from Turner and Hooch.
Hooch, yes. That's a good one. And then you got to throw out all the Disney ones. Aladdin has 3 different ones. Everybody has a pet in that fucking movie.
Right. Abu,
Gilbert Gottfried, and Iago is his name. And then the tiger. What the fuck's the tiger's name?
Oh shit! What the hell is the tiger's name?
Jasmine's tiger. I don't remember, but yeah, another one I could throw out there. Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Is he really a pet versus a friend, though?
They think he's a dog, so yes, he's a pet. Brian, that's a question you can ask anyone. Is my pet actually a pet, or is he a friend?
He's my child.
He's my child. So yeah, that's our list, and we're sticking to it. You guys got any other ones out there? Please let us know. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that's it.
Dead silence.
That's it for our show today, Brian.
Yeah, it's a little short and sweet.
Short and sweet, to the point. We talked some news and we talked some pets.
Talked some pets and we went, we need more pets.
We need more pets in movies.
We need more pets that are not dogs.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Wait a minute, why didn't we do G-Force with a bunch of gerbils?
Oh, yeah. Fuck that movie.
Garfield.
Yeah. Those are terrible movies, though.
And I'm just trying to think something that's not dogs.
Why have we not have more monkeys as pets in movies?
Outbreak?
Does Caesar count as a pet?
He does at the beginning?
At the Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Yeah, I'd say
Shit, now we gotta change our list. Caesar number 1.
God damn it.
All right, so that was our show for today. Let's jump to our plugs that we got to always plug.
Because we like to plug things.
We like to plug things. We got to first plug Sioux Falls Film Community group page on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Join the conversation there. Shoot, we should make a list on our favorite pets on that and see what people say.
Hey, there you go.
We're going to be wrong, obviously.
We're going to get her done.
We're going to get her done. Yeah. Also, check out the newest show to the Backlot 605 network. This show is called Anime Anatomy.
It is, and it is currently available on YouTube. I'm still actually waiting for the approval process so we can work on getting it out to the streaming services.
So hopefully by the time this episode of our podcast drops, it'll be up on the streaming services.
Maybe by then it'll be past tense.
That could be. We'll be talking to you from the future.
Talking to you from the past.
Sure. So check out Anime Anatomy. It's hosted by last week's guest, Logan and Kayla, and they're going to be breaking down all things anime series, movies, whatever it may be. They may even talk about some Detective Pikachu.
No!
Also check out Andy from Fat Dude Digs Flicks. Awesome movie reviews. I do got to call him out for one that he poo-pooed on.
Ranger?
The Ranger. I enjoyed it, Andy. I get why you didn't, but I enjoyed it. Also, use the hashtag Schmuck Club when you're on social media, because that's all we are, just a couple of schmucks.
In a
room.
In a green room now?
In a green room, yeah. Schmucks in a green room. That doesn't have a good ring to it.
No.
Just hashtag Schmuck Club. Use that one.
Schmuck Club.
Also, check out our TeePublic store. You can find all our t-shirts, stickers, fun stuff. Just follow the link on our website, backlot605.com. You can just click on our merchandise tab, and that'll take you right to our TeePublic store.
Yeah.
Check out the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. And while you're on those, subscribe to all those.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'd greatly appreciate it.
That'd be awesome.
Yes, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Give us a like on all those. Anything you guys can do to help follow the show, and we're always going to keep you updated on that. And, of course, our big one, backlot605.com. All our latest movie news, reviews, articles, discussions. That's where you can find it. That's where you'll find anything Backlot 605 related. And with that, we also got to give a quick little shout out to at least one of our new writers that we got on the show, Andy Erickson. Thank you for joining us, Andy. You can check out his writings now on backlot605.com. He wrote a Detective Pikachu review for us, so check that out. And didn't
he have one before that?
Yeah, and he had one before that, and I cannot remember, and I feel like a jerk.
You do feel like a jerk.
So, check out any of his reviews on backlot605.com right now. And I do want to tease one little thing for the future of Backlot. We're going to be adding some new team members, and we'll keep that on the DL right now. But, yeah, we'll introduce them at some point, but be on the lookout for that. Much more content to be coming on backlot605.com.
Dun, dun, dun.
Brian, that's been the show.
That's been the show?
That's it. So, until next time.
When did we start?
What? Shit, I didn't hit record. Now we got to start over.
Episode 28. What happened to that 27?
What happened to that Pets one? It sucked.
It sucked.
No, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have, drop us a comment on some of your favorite moments from the episode, favorite news stories, and what are your favorite pets. Brian, until next week.
I'm Brian.
You're Brian.
I am Brian. You're Casey.
I'm Casey. That's my name.
Wow.
Next time, we'll see you on the Backlot of South Dakota.